gentlemen, it is time for another episode of Behind the Grind with your one and only host, Simon Romero.
Mr. Nathan Maness, the 13-1 UFC bantamweight on a 2-fight win streak in the UFC. How are you today, my friends?
Everything's good, man. I can't complain.
Of course, so I saw you go with the beard there. It's looking nice. Is that something to stick with now?
It's something I do before fights, man. I just ain't trimmed it down since the last one. I like to grow it out during training camp.
All right, cool. You have to get some Manscaped for that.
Yeah.
One of our sponsors.
There you
All
go.
right. So you gotta talk to me. As I was searching through Twitter, I watched the fight myself, but how are you feeling so far? People said you looked like you were wounded, but you got the finish, which I don't see why people were complaining. But how are you feeling since that fight?
No, man, I feel good. I got a little black eye. That's about the only thing that I can complain about. The fight kind of went how I expected it to. You know, he's a small, compact guy, explosive. We figured it'd be a firefight. It was a good fight. It was entertaining.
Of course, it was definitely a good fight. You got that 50,000 bonus. How did you end up spending that? Did you save that for the future or what?
Yeah, man, we're actually looking at buying a house right now. So, you know, renting a
Congratulations.
studio around here. Yeah, so hopefully we find a house pretty soon and it'll go towards the future for sure.
Of course, so you got to tell me that's got to be something you've been looking to do since you were a kid. So how do you feel now that you're able to do that now?
Man, it's kind of surreal. You know, it still hasn't clicked that I want it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like you said, it's something you always dream about, and hopefully we can get a lot more in the future.
hmm Yeah. So you also got to talk to me. You're 2-0, taking out first of all an undefeated 10-0 King of the Cage champion, and then you move on and take on Luke Sanders, put him on the second round. So talk to me. Is everything like sunken down now? Are your feet on the ground? You're not in the clouds anymore now that you're a UFC fighter officially?
Yeah, it is feeling more like that. You know, I'm still waiting to fight at 135, man. That's my weight class. You know, the Johnny Munoz, we had to do it at 145 because he came in, you know, a day's notice. Me and Luke Sanders were supposed to be at 35. We signed on for 35. 2 weeks out, he said he couldn't make weight. We ended up doing 40 catch weight. So, man, you think you get past all these things like on the local show, and it's always crazy, man, even at the UFC level.
Mm-hmm. Well, you would think you must be such a nice guy. I mean, some people would have been like, "Oh, you got to make the weight, or else you have to pay me that extra money." No?
Right, man. My thing was I was scared that he was going to pull. You know, I'd already been
Yeah.
training for him. You don't want to have a new opponent again, you know, on like a week's notice. So we just kind of went with it.
Yeah, so talk to me. I've talked to many different guys, and they say that they train to better themselves, not exactly for a specific opponent. So talk to me. You were training for Ray Borg, or just training to get better, like some people say, and then you switched to someone like Johnny Munoz, who's a little bit different in my opinion. So talk to me. How was that switch for you? We'll go back all the way to your first fight in the UFC. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, man. We always trying to, you know, better ourselves for sure. But my camp is very fight specific. You know, I think you're kind of missing out if you're not planning for what guys do well and what they do wrong.
Hmm.
So it was different, and it was hard to look good in that fight. I mean, that was a tough, scrappy fight. There was a lot of clinching and him basically just trying to wrestle me down. You know, no fault to him. That's his style. Hopefully we get more fights like Luke Sanders. I have all the respect in the world for him, man. We go out there and we trade, and we see who comes out on top. But yeah.
Yeah, so something you didn't have to worry about was that extra weight. You were you weren't even at your natural weight. So talk to me. When you are at your natural weight, can you like show that you'll be even better than your last two fights?
Yeah, man, I feel pretty big at 135. You know, we've been fighting at 45 and 140, and those are all easy cuts for me. When I get in shape, you know, I'm about 48, 50. So hitting any of those marks are pretty easy. 135, I think I can really show my best, though.
hmm Yeah, so talk to me. You got 2021 coming up. Are you for sure these cards are full for December? Are you looking to 2021?
Yeah, man, hopefully February, March, something like that. You know, I want to take December and enjoy the family. You know, I fought twice here in the last 3 months. It's been a whirlwind, you know what I mean? So just take a little time, enjoy the family, and we'll be back strong at the beginning of next year.
Yeah, so we'll get to Christmas, of course, and I have to talk about that. But I want to talk about Ray Borg because that was a huge fight at the time. He was a big name, former title challenger, all that stuff. So talk to me. Do you know exactly what happened there?
I never got like a legit excuse as to why he backed out, man. I know he got cut and basically retired. I just don't know if his heart's still in it. But as far as the fight was going, man, I like the matchup. I think I'm 6 or 7 inches taller, long reach. I liked it. And it was going to be a big fight just because of his name value. I wish we could have done it. If he wants to come back and ever makes his way back here, I'm still game to do it. And you pretty much got to accept all comers when you're on this level, man. If they send me a contract, I'll sign it.
Yeah, so you kind of got to put yourself in his shoes. Honestly, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, if it was some troubles with him, his family, whatever it was, but if you put yourself in his shoes, you get cut after two, let's say, missed weight cuts or whatever, but would you be retiring if you had to go back down to the lower level, or would you try and build yourself back up?
Man, during these times, the COVID times, there's really not a whole lot going on here locally and things like that. I think it really just depends on how active I could be. If I could put together a streak pretty soon and try to work my way back. I'm only 29, I got a lot of years left, but it really just depends on all this COVID stuff and how active I could be locally.
Hmm. Yeah, so I know you've been asked this question many, many times, but this COVID stuff, has it affected you? Has it played a toll on your training and family and everything like that so far?
The gyms are a little bit, they're not as packed as they were. Training partners are a little bit harder to find. As far
But
as for
that's
me,
got to be nice too, no? They got to
yeah, yeah,
focus on you a little bit more.
there's pros and cons to it, yeah, for sure. As far as I go, I've been training twice a day. It hasn't really affected my training personally.
Fair enough. So obviously this is a pretty obvious question, but if you had to pick between performance number one and performance number two in the UFC, which one would you pick and why?
Man, number two, it was just exciting. I'm here to not just win. Winning's always first, but also to entertain the fans. That's how you make the money. That's how you get your name out there. That's how you impress the UFC staff and production. The first fight, man, it was a win, but it didn't even really feel like a win just because of how hard fought it was, and just didn't have that excitement value to it. I want to get in there and throw with the best and give everybody their entertainment.
Fair enough. So I got two questions left for you. Just gotta get it going. Talk to me about your Christmas. You got this 50,000 in the bank now. I'm sure you gotta be using that for some Christmas presents, no?
Yeah, man, we'd already bought most of our Christmas presents, so it's just kind of re-up the
Extra.
bank account a little bit. Yeah, it's nice just to have.
Yeah.
As far as what we're gonna do, our families are kind of spread out, me and my wife's, so hopefully we'll get to travel a little bit, take some time off, and just enjoy family time.
Yeah. So talk to me. Growing up, were you a big Santa believer and everything like that?
Man, I'm not sure how it come across, but about 3 or 4 years old, I'd already figured it out, man. I was getting up and
Really?
catching them, and then I was ruining it for all the other kids, man. I was the Grinch for sure.
Instead of mayhem, we should have called you the Grinch. What happened
That
there?
Hey, it could have worked. It could have worked.
Yeah. So talking about mayhem, you gotta tell me, how did that come? Is it just from your fight style being like a mayhem kind of fighter, or how did that come about?
Man, I first started fighting. We were 15, 16 years old, man, and we were watching GSP kind of during that era. Him and Matt Hughes.
Hmm.
It's been a couple years now, but we started a little outdoor fight club on Saturday mornings. Me and the friends getting together, beating each other up. And we all decided that we all needed nicknames, and Mayhem went with Manus, and that's just kind of how I got stuck with it.
The double M. That's pretty bad. I gotta
Yeah,
be
man.
honest. If you had to look back on that, did you have like a record and everything since you had to have a nickname?
Yeah, man. I think like 18-0, something like that. But I
Oh,
mean,
undefeated.
we were fighting, and nobody really knew what was going on. If you trained just a little bit, you were the guy.
Yeah. You didn't get caught any times, did you?
And not then, man, not
Oh.
then. I learned pretty well.
Fair enough. You're good at hiding that. All right. So this last one I got for you before we let you go. I know you got a busy night and everything. So 3 years ago, you were handing in that tough application. If you look back on that, you're in the UFC now. How does that feel that you are able to be in this position?
Man, it's that was a big moment for me. Just getting there and getting to train with those guys for a little bit. You realize that you are on this level, whether they chose to pick you or not. I knew I could compete with those guys, and that was a big thing just moving forward.
Awesome. So I got to give you the opportunity to thank anyone who's helped you along your journey for your UFC fights. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, man. God first and foremost for me. My wife. I know it's a struggle sometimes going through training camps. My sponsors, I got B&N Construction, Max Custom Completions, Baker Chiropractic, Ape Ethics, Team Lynn, M&M Residential Services, Merle Painting, Willett Landscapes, Great North Supplements, Nachos Grill. I appreciate all you guys supporting me, helping me to not have to work anymore. Training full time, man. I appreciate you guys.
I heard you have a nacho sponsor in there. That's gotta help out a
Nachos
lot.
and some Mexican food.
Fair enough. So, like I said, I appreciate you coming on. We had some struggles. We got to talk to you. I appreciate you, my man, and hopefully you're taking care and staying safe.
Yeah, man. Anytime you want to do another one, hit me up.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.